What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 269, and we start today's episode off with a game against Stoke City here in the Barclays Premier League, the first of the remaining 3 games in the Premier League, and you'll see all of them in today's episode. So you'll see this game against Stoke, then the game against Cardiff away, and also we stay in Wales for the final game of the season against Swansea at the Liberty Stadium. And we do take on Stoke, and as you can see, we're 3 points clear of Arsenal with 3 games to go. We know that means if we win our remaining 3 games, we will be title winners regardless of what Arsenal do. We can even win 2 and draw 1 if we like, and even maybe win 2 and lose 1 depending on what happens with the goal difference. But even so, the title is basically, it's in our grasp so long as we don't slip up. You know, we know that we can win this title so long as we have a bit of a meltdown, but we still got to get the results regardless. You know, it doesn't matter how easy a task is. I always say this to myself, it doesn't matter how easy a task is, you still got to do it, you know. So anyway, we take on Stoke, and I did say in the last episode, which was the FA Cup final against Everton, this game was actually played before the Everton game, and you may have noticed that by the dates and the timestamps on well, just the dates in general, on the sort of team management section before we go into the games. So if you sort of do keep up in depth in this series, you would have noticed this game was being played before the Everton game. The reason that this game was shown afterwards is because, as I said in the Everton game, if you didn't miss that, I'll say now, is because what I wanted to do was not have one episode just with one game. So I thought I'd leave this game out and then come back to it and put it in the next episode and then put the Everton one before it. So I know it's not really clear. It's not really, you know, it doesn't work out as good as I would want it to, because it does seem a little bit confusing. I'm sure a few of you may have noticed it already without me having to tell you. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to have one game with just one episode, because it would be about 4 or 5 minutes long. People would complain, and there you go. So hopefully that's okay. It was my fault. I messed up with the calendar. I didn't manage the situation very well. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, we won a penalty there for Anderson Rodriguez and Ezekiel, and Gutierrez, our captain for the day, stands up, chips it down the middle. Del Bello dives to his right, and we go 1-0 up in this game just before the hour mark. And I almost messed up with that skill moves there with Anderson Rodriguez. I could have just shot the ball, had space, but I wanted to do another skill move. It was so stupid, there was no need for it. Thankfully, I got bailed out when Ezekiel took over and won us a penalty, and Gutierrez made it 1-0. And in the 65th minute, you see Ezekiel go down his left-hand side. A great opportunity here. He beats Rooney with with the pace really, and shoots, but Del Bello makes a good save, and it's cleared away. So still Millwall 1, Stoke City 0, and another chance here in the 81st minute. Some nice passing season, Goo release, brilliant McCullough down the right-hand side, fake shots around his man, chips it into Anderson Rodriguez, but his bicycle kick goes over and out for a goal kick. So still Millwall 1, Stoke City 0, and you know, we would have liked a couple more goals in this game just to make sure we were guaranteed a win, but you know, we didn't need to worry about it too much. Just getting the 3 points was the most important thing, and we were the far better team. You know, Stoke had like 1 or 2 opportunities in the entire game. Other than that, it was us trying to get ourselves an extension on our current lead, and you know, the reality is with all the chances we had, we should have taken one of them. You know, this is another great chance for Rodriguez, which I skied, but the game did finish 1-0, and as I said just there, you know, it doesn't matter how many goals you win by so long as you win the game, you know, especially in a situation like this where goal difference, yeah, it could come into play, but it's highly doubtful. So we win the game by a goal to 0, we get the 3 points, and that does mean we are just 1 win away from securing the Barclays Premier League title. So following that, I did play against Cardiff, but of course this game was played after the FA Cup final against Everton, which again, if you did miss, highly recommend you go back and watch it. It is in the last episode, and you can just go onto my channel and you'll find it quite easily. But we took on Cardiff here straight after the Everton game, so as you can see that the side was completely rested because everyone was knackered. This game was being played 2 days after the Everton game, and travelling from London to Wales straight away, we were always going to have some tired legs out there, so we did rest the entire side. And as you can see, Arsenal, they're doing everything they can to try and take this title to the final day, but the reality is they had a game against Everton, as you would have seen there, away from home, and of course that's not going to be easy, despite the fact we just beat them 3-1 in the FA Cup, so that's not going to be too easy. And you know, with us taking on Cardiff, no disrespect, but as per usual, Cardiff in career mode never do too well. They're a bit of a yo-yo side, to be honest, and we should expect to get the win, and we almost took the lead in the 10th minute. The first header was saved, and then a second header by John Johannesson hit the post and was cleared away, and it was was still Cardiff 0, Millwall 0. And then a 14th minute, a great chance for Cardiff to take the lead as they played the ball forward here. I get the ball away with Glenn Robinson, but I'm bailed out of a fantastic save by Lopez at his near post. So could have been an early slip up there, but a very good save by our Portuguese goalkeeper. And from the corner, he also saves the header as well and puts it behind for another corner. So still Cardiff 0, Millwall 0, but they were looking quite threatening early on were Cardiff, which is a real surprise. But in the 41st minute, a mistake by the Cardiff defender sees John Johannesson intercept him. A couple of nice skill moves, a great finish, and it's Cardiff 0, Millwall 1 in the 41st minute with 41 seconds on the clock as Ezekiel punishes the wrong boot. It's always funny when that happens, but yeah, it's a great goal by Anderson. A bit of a mistake by the Cardiff defender. I couldn't see what the name of him Hill-Win was, but yeah, it's a lovely finish. Nice little fake Rabona, then a sombrero flick, and a nice little half volley as he was sort of falling backwards into the bottom corner. Could have been a little bit better with the chance I had to do a bit more skill, but I thought, you know what, I'll just do a couple of simple skill moves and just put it in the bottom corner. No time for messing around here. Let's just get a goal and put ourselves in front. So Cardiff 0, Millwall 1, and on the hour mark, a great chance to make it 2-0. Ezekiel finds Glenn Robinson, who collects the ball here, plays it inside towards Danny Ings off the bench, but it's a good stop by the goalkeeper, and Cardiff clear the ball away. So still Cardiff 0, Millwall 1, and another chance directly from that as they get the ball away. Eskerlainen goes for a lovely strike from outside the area, but he curls the shot onto the post, and Cardiff escape, and it's still just 1-0. But in the 71st minute, you see Ezekiel collect the ball, crosses the ball in, and Eskerlainen does get the goal to make it 2-0. So we hit the post moments earlier, but now he gets the goal to make it 2-0, and we are surely on course for the 3 points, which effectively, regardless of what Arsenal will do, will see us win the title. Because even if Arsenal beat Everton, because the goal difference is such a massive swing in our favour, you know, it's pretty much impossible, to be honest. But Cardiff did get themselves back in this game in the 78th minute, and it was Cornelius who got the goal, getting on the end of that cross there to head it in and make it 2-1. But just a few minutes later, Danny Ings picks out Eskerlainen down the centre, takes on his man, a couple of fake shots to beat his man, then a double step over, and a good finish past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner to make it Cardiff 1, Millwall 3. Lovely goal by Eskerlainen there. The defending from Cardiff was really poor. That's the type of defending I get criticised for, really. But regardless, we did make it 3-1, and Eskerlainen with 2 goals sealed the game for us there with just a few minutes to go. So 3-1 the final score, and that does mean that we have effectively won the title, but it did mean actually we did win the title completely. Effectively, we won it anyway, but after we looked at the fixtures, Everton took points off Arsenal. They drew that game, which means that with 1 game to go, we have a 5-point gap on our closest rival. So that does mean we have won the title with a game to spare, and I'm very pleased. We did hold on to the title. We've won it now for the 3rd year in a row. Since we came back to Millwall, we've won it every single season. The first season, last season, and now this season as well, which is fantastic. Really pleased with that. And you know, this season, you know, we should have. I think we should have won it by more points. But Arsenal's record has been fantastic. They've done really well to keep up with us. And in a way, you have to applaud the virtual Arsenal team for that, to be honest, because they usually fade away. This year, they took us almost all the way, but still, we've won the title, and I'm very pleased we've got it done with a game to go. So, in this game against Swansea, we didn't need to play it, but of course, I wanted to play it because I wanted to see the title get lifted. And as you saw, I did rest the entire side. I played loads of academy players, such as Jonathan Beer in goal, who couldn't save this header, and Bunn and Topless, and academy players like that. But there was one first 11 player, and you know who it was. It was Brian Carrasco. The reason being, well, I just wanted to see him lift the trophy, so I made him captain. But still, we took on Swansea. They did go 1-0 up, but we also got the ball off the line in the 40th minute by an academy player right there, our left back Callum Bunn. And from that, we cleared the ball away, and Gu goes down the right hand side here. He's got the strength to hold off Ben Davies, keeps on going, it swings in across, and Sean Howell, who we signed from Liverpool a couple of years ago, makes it Swansea 1, Millwall 1. We equalise here, and it's no wonder we got the pitch to celebrate with Callum Bunn, because moments earlier we thought we were going to concede. Bunn got the ball off the line, and then Howell scores up the other end. So Swansea 1, Millwall 1, and it was how the game would finish as well, a 1-1 draw. It was a really poor game. I thought I'd just show you the goals, to be honest, because you know there was no need to show highlights in the game, which meant virtually nothing. Well, it didn't mean nothing really, but yeah, we did draw the game 1 goal each, and you know it's not a bad result considering the amount of academy players I had out there, and there were no real first team players other than Carrasco in the game at all. But we did draw, but that of course didn't really matter. It didn't have any influence on what was going to happen at the final whistle. We were going to celebrate because we had won the Barclays Premier League title, and we are now 2/3 of the way to a magic treble, and that will of course be our first ever domestic treble in career mode. So very, very pleased with the title win here. And again, I just had to play Carrasco because I wanted to see him lift the trophy. Imagine if I let Jonathan Beer on his debut lift the trophy or something. That would have been ridiculous. But still, yeah, very, very pleased to win the title. And the one thing which would have been really nice as well is winning the title with 100 points plus. Had we won this game, we would have hit 100 points, so it would have been absolutely lovely to hit treble figures, which is just unbelievable. That's a great feat to hit 100 points in a season. But it would have been really nice, and maybe I should have played one or two more first team players to try and get those 100 points. But with the final game of the series coming up against Napoli, that would be one of the most difficult games of the series as well. Of course, one of our former clubs who are absolutely amazing, obviously, because we built them, we rebuilt them, I should say. And obviously, that's the Champions League final. It's our treble. It's the last game in order to complete a treble. I didn't want to see anyone get injured. I really didn't. Imagine if we had someone like Oscar Polo playing this game and then getting an injury. Imagine someone like Kelvin getting an injury. I'd feel like such an idiot. So because of that, I did rest the entire side, and yeah, it would have been great to hit 100 points, but that wasn't the aim. The aim was win the title, win the FA Cup. We've done both of those, and now hopefully we can win the Champions League as well. So here's a look at the final league table. As you can see, we did indeed top it with 98 points, and Arsenal finished in second with 95, Spurs with 90 and third, Liverpool claimed the final Champions League place with 79, and United missed out with 74, and the relegated trio were Cardiff, Blackburn and Wigan. Quite surprising, like I said, to see how Spurs just faded away this year. They kind of did so last year as well, and you would have thought they would have done better this year, but obviously not. And it's a bit of a shame, really, because as I said, I really wanted a three-way title challenge on the final day, but it's just one of those things. At least we won the title. That's the most important thing. Here's a look at the stats: top scorers, assists and clean sheets. You also saw a couple of youth players want to terminate their contracts, which is fine with me because we can't actually sign any of them because we've got a full squad right now. So even if we wanted to play one of these players, even if we wanted to sign one of these players, we couldn't do so because we just have no space in the academy. But it's okay to terminate their contracts because they won't play a game anyway because we're about to end the series, obviously. But at least we actually found some world-class players as well. It took us a long time, but at least we found some world-class youth players, and hopefully that's a bit of confidence going into next year's career mode. I can actually find a few more. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like because it's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of career mode very soon, which will be the Champions League final against Napoli.